Hola everyone! I'm Janine. Welcome to Janine the Judge on the hashtag Janine Jewer segment. Here, we uphold justice in this nation's biggest issues with one key question. Are we witnessing the beginning of a constitutional crisis in the Philippines? The impeachment of Sara Duterte is not just a political issue. It's a major test of our country's system of checks and balance. But what makes it even more intense is that the Senate and the Supreme Court are now predicted to clash head-on. Is this just an elite power struggle? Or are we truly on the brink of a constitutional meltdown? Let's break down the timeline. The impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte, with allegations ranging from misuse of public funds to threats to assassinate President and House Speaker Martin Romualdez, are serious accusations that the House prosecutors must try in court. But what's shocking is that Sara Duterte denies all allegations. She claims that political conflicts and rivalries are the real reason behind this move against her. Initially, the House of Representatives sent the impeachment documents to the Senate. But what happened next? When the documents reached the Senate, instead of moving forward with the trial, the Senate sent them back to the House for further verification. This raises the question, will the Senate truly put Sara on trial or just dismiss the case altogether? Isn't it clear that once the House transmits articles of impeachment, the Senate must act as the impeachment court, not as a gatekeeper of documents? This isn't just some administrative step, it's a constitutional mandate. If the Senate decides to halt the proceedings, the House won't stand idly by. The prosecutors are ready to take this to the Supreme Court with a certiorari with mandamus petition, accusing the Senate of grave abuse of discretion. They believe the Senate's actions blur the constitutional separation of legislative and judicial powers. Legislator Bukoy emphasized that the Supreme Court would be the final place to ensure the impeachment process doesn't stall. They worry that if the Senate rejects it, the people lose their only constitutional path to hold the VP accountable. And imagine if the Supreme Court orders the trial to proceed, but the Senate still refuses, then we'd see an open clash between branches of government, Supreme Court versus Senate. This is the real risk of a constitutional crisis. Outside the impeachment process, Sara Duterte called the case just a piece of paper. That's an insult to the legal institutions and all the people working hard to uphold due process. If it's really just a piece of paper, why is Sara Duterte so busy trying to stop it? Even after the House officially passed the articles of impeachment, her legal team immediately pushed the Senate to return the documents, claiming they weren't fully verified. They also shaped the media narrative to paint this impeachment as purely political instead of procedural. If it's just a piece of paper, why all the effort to kill it? This is exactly why the public is furious. If the impeachment process is garbage, then why block the hearings? In our system, impeachment is not just political drama. It's the constitutional way for the people to check and balance power. If impeachment is treated like trash, isn't that the same as mocking the House, the people's voice, and the Constitution itself? Sara and her team's actions are paving the road to an institutional crisis. Now the House wants to escalate it to the Supreme Court. Imagine, when an ordinary citizen gets a court summons, would you dare tell the judge, it's just a piece of paper? If ordinary people have to obey court orders, how can the Senate casually ignore a Supreme Court ruling? If the highest legal body is defied, then who protects justice? Let's return to the moral question. If you're just an ordinary citizen, would your case be delayed like this? Or is there a special rule for those with power? Live debates in the Senate have shown rising tensions among senators, with both sides arguing whether Sara Duterte still deserves to stay in office, especially given the rumors about her ambition to run for president in 2028. Who stands to gain if this impeachment gets thrown out? Sara Duterte could freely run for the 2028 presidential election. But if this trial continues and she's found guilty, she'll have to give up politics for good. What's the use of a constitution if branches of government refuse to follow it? If the foundation of the republic crumbles, where will we anchor our democracy? Justice delayed is justice denied. In several interviews, the House prosecutors said the term piece of paper shows Sara's disdain for the constitutional process. They're outraged, saying, this isn't just any piece of paper. This is the official product of a House investigation with a strong legal basis. If it's not true, prove it in the Senate trial. Let's talk about this in the comments. Is the Philippines really facing a constitutional crisis over just one name, Sara Duterte? What's the point of having a constitution if our own government branches won't obey it? If we stay silent, today it's just a piece of paper. Tomorrow, it could be the constitution itself that's torn apart. Share this video and demand transparency. Demand a fair legal process. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep watching Janine the Judge. Stay informed and stay critical.